to the eventful season finale of Generation Dan. On this episode, no, fuck you. It's Generation Dan, everybody. A show with Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z is not here because there's apparently an outage in Colorado. My name is Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial. Who else is here?
I'm Dino, the genetic marvel. I'm your Gen Xer. And interestingly enough, every time Atlas tries a different voice, it ends up being William Shatner by the end. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. But it's gonna be an experience, that's for sure.
Our guest today, you may have seen him on the Netflix show American Vandal, where he played Mr. Krazinski, and he has a Netflix special. It's my good friend, Ryan O'Flanagan, everybody.
What's up, boys? Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Our pleasure.
I'm hanging in there, man. I haven't seen you in years and years.
Yeah.
We used to hit the open mic circuit together back in the day.
Yep.
Look at us now. We're doing fine.
Vaguely.
We're still alive.
Got my Ozzy Osbourne painting behind me.
We're thriving. I have a blanket.
This is my blanket I choose to have right here. Like, that is the sign of success. No, this is fantastic. I love it.
The Skeletor paintings in the background?
No, it's just, listen, it's funny how, like, everyone has a picture of somebody else in their mind from when they interacted the most with them, right? So it's like realizing that people change over time. It's a weird thing, right? And you realize it more, especially during the pandemic. Like, I have friends that I've known since I was 11 years old, right? That I would see every couple months, and it was always, okay, we would treat each other like we were 16 again and stupid. But now it's like, oh, wow, yeah, it's been 3 years that we haven't seen each other, and it's like, who knows who I'm going to run into now? Yeah. Everybody changes. It's a weird thing.
Everyone looks bad.
Yeah.
Finding that.
You're hoping they're not an anti-vaxxer. You're like, hey.
Yeah.
No, everyone's gone crazy. Everyone is nuts at this point. Until proven otherwise, that's like, yesterday was the first time I went out to a show live, actually got on stage in 2 years. And the last time was 6 months into the pandemic, and it was at a campground, and I ate all the dicks. Like, it was the worst show. The worst show ever after, like, probably 6 months in. Like, 6 months in, I was like, it was like, who knows? Like, I was still working on material and stuff, but by that, it was
people still kind of worried about COVID and stuff, and there was just that little nervousness in the air.
It was just the weirdness of not having thing long. Like, when the pandemic started, I was doing 6 days a week. I was at a show, right? Like, easily, and sometimes two mics in a night.
Yeah.
I was just hustling, just trying to work on material and stuff like that. But and then going to nothing. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh yeah, I could just get back on stage. No, that is absolutely not true. Yeah. You need to warm up. That's for sure.
It's crazy how long it takes to get back into the groove. Did you guys do any Zoom shows?
I did a lot. Yeah.
Horrible experiences.
They're so whatever.
Yeah, just such a waste of time.
Yeah.
See, you know what? Like, I feel like it's kind of like leaving an engine and just like manually turning it every once a week. Just technically, it'll probably save it from seizing, but it's really not that good of an experience. You know,
might as well just leave it alone.
Yeah,
driving the car around the block.
Yeah, you're like, this is not a productive use of time, but like, if we don't do it, it's gonna make things worse eventually. Who knows?
Just mostly just a mental thing. Just saying your jokes out loud.
Well, the best is how much you realize, like, normally at a mic, you'll see, like, at the far back or in like some secluded corners where all the comics will be, and they will, number one, they will clap for you completely fakely, but as well, they will talk during your entire set and could give a shit about the volume or anything, right? So then during Zoom mics, all of a sudden everyone just goes, oh yeah. You start and they go, and they're on their phone. You're like, man, listen, it's only us. If you're not gonna be nice here, like, okay, just forget it, man. But that's still an issue. It's kind of like people figuring out how to wear a mask. You're like, oh yeah, no, they just still don't get it. It's fine, whatever. You can't fix these people. They're done. Oh yeah, the chin wear. Hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, man, just. Well,
it's just like the worst possible thing to happen during a time when everyone already hated each other so much.
Yeah, also true.
had a pandemic, and then everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a side now."
Yeah. The worst part is this thing that they like come in. Yeah, can you tell me where the bathroom is?
Yeah. You won't
Let's
be
get
able
it
to
nice
hear
and
me if I don't
close.
do this.
Yeah, get it nice and close. It's really just. Can you hear me this close? Is that good? Yeah. The spit's getting on your face. It's nice.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, things are slightly better now, at least. A little bit.
Pandemic-wise, but everything else-wise.
Yeah, everything else is
weird.
still really bad.
Have you guys find this like it's weird to see what kind of like we knew everyone was crazy, but everyone kind of had it under wraps until the pandemic, then the madness came, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like what madness people have picked to latch onto. They're like, no, this is my identity now, and I will do this until I die. Like you're like, really? Okay, well, sure. And then somebody's just walking around. They're like, no, I wear cat ears every day, and you're like,
you know what? Yeah.
All right.
2 years inside, I want to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just like, it's an awful person, but I'm not. I can't tell you what it is anymore.
Hey, you know what? All things considered, if cat ears are the like peak of your craziness, cat ear away. I don't care.
Yeah. Certainly be worse.
That's for sure. Sure, right? It's been weird with that kind of stuff. Speaking of weird, do you want to go into our questions?
Yeah, we're gonna ask Ryan some questions.
Ask me some questions, dude.
Yeah. All right. So the first question here is, what is an embarrassing song from your playlist?
Dude, most of my songs are embarrassing songs. I'm realizing, especially in the last like 2 years, I listen to so much just like girly pop music.
Yeah.
It's like most of what I listen to.
It's the good shit. Yeah, because like no one cares anymore, right? Or you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna listen to Man, I Feel Like a Woman at work. I don't give a shit.
I got some.
It's an empowering song.
It's like, I can't even call it a guilty pleasure, at this point, because it's like the majority of my songs on Spotify are just like pop songs. There's this Grimes. I love Grimes, but she has like this whole album that's like when she kind of first started on the scene, people were kind of like labeling her as just like cool emo chick. Then to combat that, she put out this whole album of intentionally just like super upbeat, poppy, girly songs, and I'm like, that's like my favorite album. I just fucking bop it. It's just like if anyone heard me listening to it, I'm like, oh my god, that is just like it's like the silliest, girliest shit.
That's like the opposite of like she did the opposite of what Taylor Swift did. It's all she's all bubblegum pop. She's like, oh, you want to see the real me? Like,
yeah. So the inverse, and I was like, oh shit, I like that. Super girly stuff. Yeah, man, dancey, poppy. I'm realizing I like female singers just more than male singers in general, I think. And pretty much every genre, I feel like. I don't know what it is, but mostly just dance stuff.
Think of it this way. I don't think any baby is going to be like, you know what? I'm down to fall asleep to my dad singing.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just like that instinct. You're just like, oh, mommy.
Yeah.
Still just revert back to that.
Nobody pictures a siren with like a crew cut and a beer gut going, hey, woo!
Let's be honest. If there were a male siren, it would probably still kind of sound like a woman. It would just be like a Rocky Horror Picture Show Geddy Lee from Rush.
It's just a more beautiful sound. Just a man that just sounds like a woman. But dude, I got some Celine Dion. I got some Iggy Azalea.
Sure.
Yes.
It's a very empowering music. I get it. And even sometimes you have a nice little cry in the middle and you're like, I'm a powerful woman. This is I'm gonna take this world by storm. Thank you very much. It's nice.
Yeah. Whether they're saying hello or last Friday night, it's
from A to Z.
Oh man.
Last Friday night. Yeah, man. I just like
that was my second most played song on Spotify last year. Was Last Friday.
Was Last Friday night, man? Yeah.
It's got Kenny G. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the video, and I was like, "Hey, is that Kenny G?" I'm like, "That's Kenny G." Oh my god! Like that just blew my mind. It was fantastic. So upbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And nobody's ashamed of Kenny G. Kenny G comes on, you say, yeah, you're damn right I like Kenny G. I'm smart.
Yeah.
I aren't even any words in my music. Thank you very much.
I like the message. You pretend like you know what the message is.
That's like just jazz in general. People, yeah, man. I'm like, listen, dork, just calm down, okay?
Dude, you know what else I like? I guess you can call it. It's a little embarrassing, but not really. But it's just that that Eminem album. I think it's called Relapse, where he does like horrorcore, and every song is just about he does this weird accent, and he's just talking about like raping and murdering and just the most horrible things he can think of. And I forget sometimes. I just listen to it just like Eminem. And I forget sometimes when there's like someone else in the car, like, what is this song? It talks about like putting an umbrella in this girl's pussy and opening it up, and then just like wait, what is the song? Oh, I forget this is what he's saying.
Oh, my bad. This is not first date music. This is not first date music. This is it's the wrong playlist. My bad.
Yeah.
You ever hear Rain Man? That song of his? Rain
Man?
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those songs where like he just did it, like he didn't really know where he was going, and like you find me offensive, I find you offensive for finding me offensive.
Yeah, it sounds like he's just like, wait, what?
Yeah. Okay. Keep talking.
I find you offensive for thinking. Like, is this what rap is now?
I'm offended that you think that I could offend someone so unoffendable like yourself is offensive. That's fair. It seems perfectly normal.
Well, that second question. What's something you like to do because you're a grown-up and no one can stop you, goddammit?
Oh, boy. Every drug. Every single one.
I need to start keeping a tally of how many people have said drugs.
A lot of people say drugs. A lot of people say.
Damn,
I get it. I get it. Listen, as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to smoke another joint. I got these joints that are like, they look like cigarettes. They have like fancy wrapping. So one of them is like a royal blue with like a gold seal on it. Another one's like completely black. And I'm like, God, I feel like a gangster smoking these things, right?
Yes.
And also like more expensive than cigarettes. So I'm like, I'm way better than normal people. This makes me so much more cultured. Like I'm Greek and I'm smoking this. I'm like, you cannot even touch me, right? It's great.
But Dino, that's metal in your lungs.
It's metal in your lungs.
In your lungs. Yeah. Shut up.
Oh, the fact that Ryan got that, just that.
Oh yeah, that fucking commercial.
I don't even know who that's for. Like,
hey man, I mean, it worked. We remembered it.
Well, because it's supposed to be like tailored to like your ad's supposed to be like coming after you specifically. Yeah. I have not vaped. I've never. And I guess that like I need if they're gonna tailor it to me, have it be like this is your endocrine system on Dr. Pepper, like something that I have a problem.
You're like, I have no metal in my lungs.
Yeah,
you're talking to the wrong person. Yeah, vaping's wild, man. I started a little bit, maybe 2 years ago, and I've since mostly quit. Now I take a drag if someone has one, but I don't like buy them anymore.
Okay.
And I do notice such a difference when I like start doing it regularly. Just like buy one and I'm smoking it all day. You can clearly tell that you're just poisoning your body. I'm literally like my posture is worse because I'm just like a little bit nauseous. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm just like slightly dizzy all day. Just like, man, because I'm just fucking sucking in poison that's going through my veins. But it's so hard to stop. It tastes so good. Yum, yum, yum.
I totally get that. I quit smoking Christmas Eve this past year, and I'm like, it's the worst, and I am primed to kill. Like, I just want to murder everyone.
Yeah. You're talking about cigarettes?
Yeah.
And
I know I have a pipe somewhere, but my wife has hidden it from me, and I'm like, I'm gonna get that pipe. She's not gonna stop me.
Yeah,
you're 6 months in though. That's so good.
I will never stop loving smoking. It's delicious, and it makes me look so fucking cool, man. Okay, listen. If with a pipe, do you know how badass I look with a pipe? I just like, yes.
Yeah.
And people are going, that guy needs a raise, like immedially. If you see me with a pipe,
You look cool with a pipe. You got a cool beard and shit. Fucking me and Alice tried to use a pipe. We're such douchebags.
Yeah.
And people are like, why do you have
I feel like you need a bow tie as well.
Yeah.
It would be weird.
Yeah, but then you start drifting into Tucker Carlson territory, and that's not good.
Listen, okay, maybe you guys will get this because you guys are Ryan. You're in LA as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay, so like Tucker Carlson is the worst, and he's starting to make sense on the internet and getting popular. And you're like, this is not good. This is not good for anyone. This is a thing because he's going, well, isn't everyone have egg on their face? And you're like, yes, they do. Now just shut up, you ugly, weird man. He looks like the umpire at every little league game. Just weird helmet head. It's I don't like it.
You know, it just appeals to the people. People want an umpire telling them what to do.
Listen,
that
it's
fascist umpire.
It's him and Russell Brand, where I'm like, these cannot be the voices of reason at this point. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with it. It's weird, and they're making sense, and I'm like, no, I don't like it. I don't like it. Just get a new person. Just somebody else.
Us.
I
wouldn't
believe that.
I subscribe to the theory that Tucker Carlson wants to get revenge on all people left of center after Jon Stewart fucking curb stomped him on Crossfire in 2004. This was back when he still wore the bow tie. Do you guys remember this or no?
Nope, I can't.
No, who was Tucker Carlson before the pandemic? I don't even know who that. Like half the people that people are talking about now, and I'm like,
that Carlson train for a while, huh?
Well, no, I looked like where did this asshole come from, and then I went back. So
it's a butt baby for sure. That's
Crossfire was the show, or it was supposed to be like left, right, and center type deal. Like, there's a guy on the left, there's a guy on the right. So they had Jon Stewart on the left and Tucker Carlson on the right. And then Jon Stewart just fucking creamed his ass on national TV to the point where he kind of he disappeared, and then that's how bad it was.
But that's Jon Stewart is a monster. Now he got.
Dude, Jon Stewart. I saw Jon Stewart. I was actually at that show where Dave Chappelle got tackled.
Really?
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Why?
Ahmed Dallas.
Yeah, Ahmed Barucha, yeah.
Yeah, his wife books the Netflix as a Joke festival.
Oh.
So she got us tickets. Otherwise, I absolutely would not have gone to the fucking Hollywood Bowl to see a comedy show. Yeah. But, dude, everyone was it was also weirdly just like a pro-trans joke show. Like, other comics were even kind of acknowledging, like, hey, this crowd is like, you guys are cool with little trans humor. And we're like, is this what it's becoming now?
Oh, God.
It was so weird. And then Chappelle went up and he did a bunch of trans material, just really leaning into it. But Jon Stewart went up and he did so much time on, like, we've seen Jon Stewart the whole time since he left the show. He hasn't left the public eye. Yeah. But he came out and he did so much of material about like how he like looks old now. He's like, look, this is what an old Jew looks like. Look at it. Yeah. This is what aging looks like. And we're like, yeah, we saw you on TV last week.
You're regularly on TV, man.
Yeah, and you look great. Also, if you're age, you're like, fantastic. I would love to look like that.
It's not like you went from Obi-Wan in the new miniseries to Alec Guinness. We've seen that happen. You know, it's not like you went from one to the other immediately.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a nice, easy, slow transition. But he did. The show was so sick. It was like Chappelle and then Chris Rock, Chris Rock and Sebastian, Earthquake, fucking Michelle Wolf, Jimmy Carr, Jon Stewart, and I think a couple other people. But yeah, it's so interesting. We do so many fucking bad shows.
Yes.
And contribute to them.
Yes.
And
also true.
Make them bad. But to see like a beginning to end show, or everyone did like 10 minutes. He's Sebastian Maniscalco doing 10 minutes, just like his tight 10. You're like, man, I haven't like laughed that hard at a stand-up comedy show in years. I'm like, man, this is like what people think comedy is. You know, then you go to the shows that we go to, like, actually most people suck.
Yeah, it's also
so bad.
It's hard to go as a comic because you're either like thinking shop or like, okay, he could have done this better, or you're just jealous where you're like, why?
Yeah. You never feel good.
Yeah,
you're never just having a good time.
Listen, yesterday I smoked like 3 joints in and around up until the show, and then I smoked after. I'm like, and you know what? I was able to stay in the moment, which I'm like before. That's what I would do. I would critique everything. And not laugh, and now I'm like, no, I'm just gonna laugh. I don't give a shit. Fuck it, I don't care. Whatever. I'm living on borrowed time as it is, the way I look, and I'm just like, you know what? Yeah, no, I don't have time for that. I'm like, I'm just gonna laugh.
Yeah, man, it's great. Yeah, I've gotten much better. I remember when I first started doing open mics, I was such like a hater. I was so young. I was like when I first moved here, 21, 22, and I remember everyone like would love T.J. Miller, and I just did not like T.J. Miller. Right? He just like bothered me. I think I was just jealous.
He looks like a prick too, though.
Yeah,
you must feel pretty good about yourself.
I knew right away. But I remember he like popped into this open mic, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, T.J. Miller's popping in. He's popping in." And I was just like, I had no reason to hate the guy. I was just like jealous. And he comes in and he does his set. And it was at like this shitty open mic in like a Chinese restaurant. I remember pretending to be asleep. I was in my seat. I was just like, I was going like this. And I was absolutely not asleep. I was just like, he didn't even see it. It was just for the other comics. Like, oh, Ryan's so cool. He doesn't even stay awake for TJ Miller.
Yeah.
Such a fucking hater.
It's like some goth kid shit.
Really. Just like emo away message.
Conformist.
Well, guess what? Yeah.
I wasn't even awake during your set. Whatever.
I heard it was good, and I didn't see it.
I was busy in the moment. It was fine. That's no. Well, that's I just find it hilarious that like God, seeing those people do 10 minutes each, that would be it's weird.
Just like, dude, I cannot. There'd be like no. I would never want to follow anyone on that show at the Hollywood Bowl. Everyone's just crushing. Yeah, and I'm a lot less confident than I used to be. I used to like go to shows, and if it was a really good show with a big crowd, I'd be like, God, I'll give anything for just the host to come up and just ask if I want to do a set.
Yeah.
Now, like, can you imagine just like following Sebastian after he just crushes the Hollywood Bowl, and I go out with my jokes are, the older I get, my jokes are getting like slower and more boring, and like, just, like, I have no energy, I have no confidence. I'm just like hanging in there. But going out on that stage, I would probably pass out.
Well, can you imagine being the only guy that eats shit at the Hollywood Bowl? Like,
oh
my God, you're like, oh,
yeah,
that's
cheesy little jokes.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I think that was so. The show that I did last night was called "Killing with Kindness," and it was the first show that a friend's starting, and it was essentially like a complimentary roast, like backhanded compliment type show. So you couldn't. There was no swearing was allowed, and you couldn't directly insult the person, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, so I was up in the first round. I got kicked out in the first round, but I'm like, everybody liked myself. Like I was funny. I just got outdone, and I'm like, yeah. But everyone left. Like everyone was happy because everything was kind of a compliment. Like it was. Yeah. It was a weird night, but at the same time, I was like, that was a surprisingly positive experience, and no one, like only one guy. Kind of ate it, but he didn't really understand, and like he didn't understand what a backhanded compliment was, and then he was like, "Well, now I'm just insulting you, and now I feel like a dick." And we're like, "Yeah, that's why you lost." Like, you're like, "Yeah, that's fine too."
Yeah, they used to have this show. I don't think it lasted long, but instead of roast battle, it was boast rattle, and it was just compliments. And it was like, it's hard to be funny just doing compliments. As you do like a pun or a word play or something, but it's just like, this is like kind of a funny idea in theory, but it's like, this is not a very good show. Watching people just compliment each other.
That's one of those things, where he's like, why did I do so badly? And you hand him a copy of Pride and Prejudice, and you're like, just read this. That'll make you feel better.
Yeah, you figure this out.
Yeah, that's fair. No, it was a very it was funny to watch. Like older guys had no problem building up material because it's like it's kind of like you needed that experience of going to like a family get together where there was like an old person, like a grandma or a grandpa who's very religious, so you can't swear around them, so everyone had to like throw their digs in like the highest class way. Like that's like if you've had that experience and you're watching adults tell each other off but in a very polite way, and you're like, what is happening right now? These aren't compliments. What's happening? It was like that, but like all adults. So like the older guys had no problem because they're like, yeah, I got in-laws. I know how that works. It's no problem. Like, I have a wife. She hates me. I get it.
Is it stuff like, oh, I love how you just wear anything? Like,
a lot of that, dude. One of the roasts to the guy I was with, I'm like, oh, so I heard that your wife is 3 months pregnant. Congratulations. And my heart goes out to her because I know she let you out unsupervised tonight because she has not contributed to what you're wearing at all. I've seen you with your wife. Son, you've made some choices that you got away with, but you're going to pay for. This is being videotaped, like, immediately. And, like, then I even said how, like, so his name was Armin Afkami. And he's a very, very funny comic. And he ended up winning the night. But I said how, like, saying his name correctly in public is like a good deed for the day. And it's also kind of like bridging the barrier between cultures. And he just looked at me, he's like, damn, that's good. And I'm like, hey, man.
Yeah.
You know?
There you go. The
so
winner
like,
says that. You done good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, but the thing is, then he complimented me because I'm like, I wore a suit, and I'm like, he's like, you look so good. And I'm just like, damn. I'm like, oh, I can't be mad at you. I feel so uplifted right now.
Yeah, dude, everyone leaves feeling pretty good. I've never done a fucking one of those or a roast battle either. I don't have what it takes.
I did it once with Dan Grove, who has been on this show. And
it was
hilarious. We tied, but not in like, we can't decide a winner. It's you both suck.
Damn, yeah, neither of you win.
The worst part was, like, a lot of my humor is self-deprecating. So after Dan does his jokes, I'm like, dude, you could have done so much better. I gave you a list of shit. Like, come on.
Damn,
it was very funny to watch because, like, listen, for the one I did was like you had to be polite about it, so I got it. Mm-hmm. You guys this was a full roast battle. You guys were still super polite about everything.
Yeah,
it's like, well, that way too. You know, you have great posture, and I think that's annoying. You're like, what? That is not What is you're doing this wrong?
What did you do at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, I did it at the store. I'm doing it again in July against Amanda Cohen.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, be more vicious this time.
It's not something I'm used to, so I'm trying to kind of get out of my comfort zone with that.
Yeah, that's good. I like to stay in my comfort zone, baby.
Yeah, no,
I don't put one toe out.
Get out of your comfort zone, but also stay in your lane. You're like, what? Okay.
I don't know where to go.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the third question.
Oh yeah, we do have a third question. Well, we talked about drugs for quite some time.
We did talk about drugs for a long time. What was the first time you felt like an adult?
I actually can tell you the very first time I actually thought a sincere thought to myself that I had become a man was, this is probably a weird story, but the first time I ever successfully masturbated, when I was in 7th grade. Is this not this kind of show?
Yeah.
Dude, it just sticks out in my mind. And I still to this day, I don't think I'm an adult. But at this moment I did. When I was 12 years old, all my friends were jerking off. And I wasn't, and I was trying, and I couldn't, nothing would happen. Couldn't get any semen out, you know. And the first time I finally got semen out, I was just I done it a few times, and I guess you call it pre-cum or something was coming, and I thought that's what jerking off was. I was like, okay, a little bit, it's kind of oozes out. That's not that cool, but I guess it feels kind of good. And the first time it shot out, I said out loud, I went, whoa, because it shot out
like you're calling a horse.
Yeah. I went, whoa, and then it was just all over my hand. Lord knows it wasn't a ton. It was mostly just on my hand. I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm a man. And from that day to this day, I've never had that thought again. And I still think I'm a boy. I preferred it. That's the most adult I've ever felt in my life. I was 12 and a half.
Okay, first off, that's the youngest that anyone said. That's when I felt like an adult. Every other time, it's like the first time I had to pay bills, or when my abortion pill kicked in, or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know if it felt like an adult, but I felt like a man, which I guess are different things.
Yeah, but that's fair. Yeah, I think that's definitely a man. Like, I'm a man. I'm in charge of stuff. Not much, apparently, but one thing you were in charge of, and you made it work.
A thing, yeah.
You figured out a thing.
Feeling like a biological difference in your body. Like, wow, I just entered a new stage.
Yeah.
Now this weird stuff comes out of my dick. Yeah. Like, wow.
The worst part, I don't know if this is a thing for women, but at least for guys, it's just like this it's this constant source of frustration. And then when you finally figured it out, it's like oh shit, I can do that now. And then that's all your world becomes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I was counting for a while. I remember, and I had a friend who was a year younger than me. So he was in 6th grade and he couldn't do it yet. And I remember telling him, and every few days he would check in and be, how many times have you done it? And I'd be like, 26 times. I counted up to 80 times before I lost count. Like, dude, I did it 80
He's got a big whiteboard in his room.
It's like, woo, did it again. I'm so pumped about it.
Oh my god!
So all I picture is some family member going, "Are you doing math work on this whiteboard? What is this?"
Yeah.
It's a fantasy football league. We're just
conducting experiments. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
it's all science.
My super sticky whiteboard. Don't.
When I was in college, in one of the years when I lived in an apartment with a roommate, he would put up a tally mark on the whiteboard every few days, and I was wondering why. And then that actually went through my mind. Was that every time he had someone over? Every time he had sex? It turns out it was every time my girlfriend came over, and I was just like, so are you just, you don't like that she comes over? He's
every time your girlfriend came over?
Well, every time my girlfriend came over. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, do you want me to stop having her come over so often? He goes, yeah. I'm like, you could have solved this
weird,
just tell me.
Aggressive.
Yeah,
just counting all the times. I'm not going to tell you that it bothers me, but you just got to stare at the tally. God, that's so many times.
Yeah,
just waiting for an argument. He's like, she doesn't come over that much. Oh, really? Look at this number.
He comes down, wipes a finger on the whiteboard, shines a black light on it. 17.
That's wild.
Oh man, that guy was like Arrested Development levels of passive aggression. That's
that's nuts.
Yeah.
What a horrible way to live. Can you imagine? Where
you
can't even just
passive aggressive, or
just being that much of an idiot. Where it's oh, you come over too much. Go fuck yourself, man. Guess what?
Separate bedrooms. Don't worry about it.
Not even separate bedrooms. Who are you that it should matter? Oh, well, we're roommates. No, we're cohabitants. Go fuck yourself, man. Stay in your own room. How about that?
What was this, a roommate that you didn't choose, just through the school?
No, so we were in the same hall as freshmen, and we got along reasonably well. I was like, do you want to get an on-campus apartment together? He goes, sure. And then he just was completely different once you actually live with him and not just vaguely in the same area.
Yeah. Those were weird times, man. Kind of finding your, choosing your first roommate. Freshman year, you kind of get assigned one, and then sophomore year, people start choosing, and then maybe people ask that you don't want to live with.
Yeah.
Oh, I never even thought about that. Oh, my God.
The third year was pretty awesome because he moved out, and then the school never assigned me a new one for 3/4 of that year. So I was like, do I have to pay the other half of the rent? They're like, no, just.
Well, that's cool.
I was like,
that's
awesome. Lived alone.
Yeah.
And then the guy I got for the end of that year, he was fine. Nothing, no problems at all. And then the last year I lived in a house with a bunch of friends off campus. That was
party house.
Kinda, except there was no partying because it was full of nerds. There was a
party house, but no partying.
Late night trading card games. That's what it was.
Pretty much.
Yeah, damn,
dude. I was at Locals this week, and my friend John Taylor shows up while I'm at Locals. Have you ever had two friend groups in the same room together, and the two personalities you have for both of them conflict with each other?
I do that for sport.
Yeah.
Oh, the worst.
So my card game friends were there, and a comedian friend was there, and I was like, "Fuck!" It turns out he was producing a show in that game store on the Saturday, and then he's like, "Do you want to come watch it?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." So I went, and it was fun. And he's like, "I'll get you on sometime this summer." But it's just one of those things where, that gif of George just going, "Worlds are colliding."
God. Yeah, man. That's I went to this bachelor party a few years ago. That's when I had my big curly hair.
I remember that hair. That was straight hair.
Yeah, man. I had some big old curly hair, and I remember I went to this bachelor party, and for my high school friend who had made really douchey college friends, and one of his douchey college friends is just Italian Guido guy. And and he didn't realize I had come from LA. They all flew in from the East Coast, and I was like, "Yeah, I just drove in." He's like, "You drove in? What are you talking about? You drove in?" And I was like, I live in LA, so I just drove. And he was like, "Why does your hair look like that?" And I was like, "What do you mean? Why does my hair look like that?"
Look like what?
Yeah, I was like, "This is what it looks like." And then I told him that I had come from LA, and he goes, "Oh, what? You play for the LA Kings?" And I was like, "No, why did you say that?" He's like, "Your hair, you just look like maybe just like a hockey player or something."
What?
Just like could not grasp having hair that wasn't his. I was like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
I've never heard of any stereotype of a hockey player before.
Yeah, me either. Before then, there's like missing teeth,
So,
and flowy curly hair.
Yeah, I'm Canadian. That's fair. It's a fair comparison.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
the funny thing is that like that kind of I made the joke the other night where I'm like, some people are kind of like Italians around the World Cup. It's like, okay, yeah, we've heard enough. Just stop right there.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, when you said that, it's like, yeah, the Italian guy who's like, hey, I'm Italian, so I'm funny. You're like, that's definitely not true. Let's just stop right there, sir, and keep your opinions to yourself. So.
Yeah, man, it's hard realizing, especially like old friends you have from growing up, meeting like new friends you have, and you start to realize, shit, these are just. I was friends with those people because they were all the people I knew when I was a kid.
Yeah, they were just around.
I can choose better friends now. Yeah, I've met some of my friends, like friends from growing up. And I'm like, this is your fucking. Why are you friends with this guy? Yeah, we lived on the same street, and we're just still friends.
Yeah. That's the thing is, you don't have to be like. I'm finding, especially now, that we don't have to be friends. We can do work together. We can do all sorts of stuff together. We can even have a meal. Don't have to be friends. Not at all.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. Yeah, no problem. And they're like, but we should hang out. Like, no, that's definitely not.
Absolutely don't want to hang out. I barely want to hang out with people that I like.
Also true.
I don't like hanging out. I'll go out every once in a while. All right.
At my workplace, I'm in like the back. I work at a doctor's office, and I'm in like the back office, and all of a sudden they moved in like this other department because there's a lot of like storage space that they cleared out, and they're all tight knit, and they're like, "Do you want to like go get a drink with us after work?" I was like, "No, have fun, but no, it's just." They're like, "But what about like team building or whatever?" I'm like, I don't care. I am here to make a paycheck so I can go do stuff out there.
I don't care how the team does.
Yeah.
I just want to make money. Yeah, dude. I had like my last day job I would always leave for lunch. I would just go sit on a bench outside. Just like on like the sidewalk. And then one day one of the coworkers was like, we all just like have lunch in the kitchen. Why don't you ever just have lunch with us? And I was honestly, I'm with you guys 8 hours a day. Let me have like half an hour where I could just like be by myself. I don't want to seem weird. Yeah, but I guess I'm the weird one for wanting to like get away from you guys.
I don't want to go out for a drink with you guys unless we're going to talk about unionizing. Then I'm in.
If it's a productive evening, fine. Yeah.
Listen, that group has definitely been moved into your direct area of work, Atlas, specifically because you're a union talker, and they're going to start rumors be like, "Oh, he's just horrible to work with. He never wants to talk with anyone. He's so antisocial." And for sure, that's definitely they got you marked, buddy. You're done.
Yeah. Guess we'll see.
For sure.
Mark of the beast.
Listen, people love just belonging to whatever, right? Like, so they're just like, "Oh, we all hang out at this one bar," and you're like, yeah, that's just your local bar. Like, you can hang out wherever you want. They're cool. Like, no, but it's ours, And you're like, nah, it's somebody else's. You pay them to hang out there. That's it. That's all it is.
That's our spot.
Yeah, it's people are too committed to things. When you're like, hey, maybe spend time with your family. That's whatever, or just maybe some meditation. I don't know. Just leave people alone. People just
leave people alone.
Yeah,
that's the message we can all take.
I think so.
Let the hell alone. That's when the pandemic was good for. We're all like, this is feeling what it's like. We can all just be left alone for a little bit.
So, like, I know in like pre-pandemic, like Dino was saying, like doing like mics like 5-6 nights a week, sometimes 2 in a night, and like now that it's over, I'll do maybe 2 in a week total. It's been very good for my mental health.
Yeah, man. God, I remember when I first met you, I was grinding so hard. We both were grinding so hard at mics, and there were comics that were like doing well, that were friends of mine that I respected, that were like, I I'll do a couple a week. It's just, and I remember them mentioning just like, yeah, mental health. And that wasn't even really anything I really cared about. I was like, yeah, but mental health for me is working as hard as I can, and then I'll feel good about myself.
And then like I think with the pandemic, that spell has been broken.
Yeah, you can realize.
Yeah.
You can just get by without all that.
No,
Yeah, I do
nice.
a whole lot less comedy than I used to.
Yeah, and then also like for like sending out stuff on social media. Once I learned you could schedule stuff on Twitter, it got so much easier. Instead of sitting there being like, "What's a funny thing I can say today?"
Oh yeah.
I'm scheduled 2 months out.
Yeah. I hope those tweets work out for whatever day you post.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're like, it'll be like nothing, and sometimes it'll be like a few. Like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bummer how you got to stay up on the socials.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stay relevant, it's quite a pain in the ass.
It is.
I feel like that's a misnomer, though. Like, the whole idea behind the social media stuff, like, it's so glamorized certain ways of doing things. It's like how everyone, you have to post every day, and you're like, that's insane. You're like, who's got the time? Like number one, listen, I hate myself above everyone else, and you think I want to interact? No, man, come on. That's I need a break from me.
The people that do that are putting out content every single day. I put out as much as I can, but I'll go a month at a time without posting a video and stuff.
Yeah.
People that are posting stuff every day with the captions edited. I mean, how much time are you spending on that? But it does work. You see horrible comedians that are just putting their stand-up out. If they put it every single day and scheduled every day, people go to expect it, and they just build this audience of idiots.
Yeah.
And they can tour off of that. It's but
a tour like a lot. It's I don't know.
Very, very bad. Very bad comics.
I remember being at an open mic, and the show had kind of ended, but a guy came late, and he was like, "Oh, let me go up." So he went up, and it was kind of like, it was probably around like 12:30, 1 o'clock already. So like we have last call at 2 a.m.
Oh God.
So he starts doing material, and it's so bad, but everyone is dying of laughter. And I'm standing beside another comic who he's younger than I am, but he's been doing comedy way longer. So he's very much mentored me in a lot of things. And I just look at him and I'm like, hey, if this is what it takes, I don't want any part of this like ever again. And he goes, I don't know, man. I don't know what's happening right now. He's like, I just don't know anything. And the funny thing was, the following week, he tried to do the exact same thing, and he literally got booed off stage. And I'm like, there's a little bit of justice in the world, but at the same time, some weird things happen. And it's peculiar. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. A weird world we've gotten ourselves into. How long you been doing it? I know Atlas, since I met you when you started, I think.
Yeah, I was 17 when I started, so
28.
Yeah.
I did 3 years before the pandemic, and at that point, I was starting. I think I was doing starting to do like 20-minute sets around then, and then I was just slowly starting to incorporate crowd work and things like that. Like I'm a fat guy, right? I don't do anything fast. So I'm like, I just want to master each stage individually. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm not. Listen, man, nobody in my world says, oh, move faster. What? Fuck you. I'll do whatever I want because you don't have a forklift to carry me around, sir. That's just, how that's going to work. So I was like, I'm running my own race, and that's just what I'm doing. So at the same time, I've had the luxury of meeting certain people like Atlas. Like, we've done this for just about a year now, which has been great, right? At the same time, then I've met other people where I'm like, oh, you're just a horrible human being that's just taking my material and hoping that you'll be able to make something of it at some point. And I'm like, oh, no, forget it. I'll just do it for myself. Why am I doing it for you when I could do it for me?
Yeah, exactly. That's the healthier way to look at it.
You know what? I used to be angrier. Atlas still does people. I'm very angry. I don't know why, but in the end, it's more so. It's like, who's got the time for that? I'm like, just go hate yourself. I don't have time to hate you. I hate me more than enough.
That's half the battle. Either use the anger like Bill Burr uses the anger, or fucking try to just get past it and just enjoy your time. Spend so much time just being angry at your situation and where you're at, and other comics doing well, and other comics material and your own material. Everything's so frustrating. You get to that point where you can just enjoy it, like you did at the beginning. It is hard to get back to that glorious point.
Yeah. Well, I was talking with 2 producers last night who were on the same show, and I was like, you know what? I don't care about the venue. I don't care about the drama. You know what? I just want to make people laugh. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who's banging who. Don't care. Just leave me alone. I just want to make people laugh. Be a goofy character that I am.
Yeah. Yeah, you start off like that, and it quickly becomes politics and everything else. Yeah. To get back to just making people laugh. That's what comedy should be.
Well, we all got to eat and stuff, so that's kind of a pain.
I think I've eaten enough for everybody. It's not,
Yeah, thanks for doing that, man. Thanks for
It's gonna be when the apocalypse comes. Dino's just gonna be this cut warrior of the wasteland by just waiting. He'll be sitting there meditating. Yeah.
That's exactly it. All my power will come to fruition then. I've had nutrients stored for years. It's perfect.
Yeah, you made an investment, and it will pay dividends, dude. It's coming.
I used to do a bit. I'm probably still gonna do it when I go on stage, but I would say how I'm like, I don't jiggle when I run. I thunk, because I'm like, this isn't McDonald's fat. This is like steak and truffle. Like, this is a long-term investment of energy that it hits like a just bam with like a rock,
Yeah.
Like a non-Newtonian fluid.
It's all muscle.
Yeah. I'm like the Kingpin, you're just like going, hey, he's gigantic. That's the funny thing is, so they started posting pictures, and I've been online with doing all these shows and everything, and I'm like, listen, I'm a giant. I'm 6'2" and about 400 pounds ish, right? And I'm like, yeah, man, I fill up a wall like the Kool-Aid man. Like, it's ridiculous. And then you see pictures of me, and you're going, well, yeah, you look bigger than everyone else. I'm like, listen, I carry my weight very well. I don't know. It's some sort of magic. I don't know. But even there, people are like, wow, you lost a lot of weight. I'm like, I'm still fat as hell. I don't know.
It's just well proportioned.
It's the suit. I got to see the picture of him, because normally I can only see him from the waist up. For all I knew, he was a centaur. But seeing the picture of him with the suit, I'm like, you look like Rasputin and Michael Scott's love child.
Damn, I gotta see this suit pic.
Hold on, I'll find it. No problem.
He's gonna go find it. Well, he's looking that up. So you were on American Vandal for that first season.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything about that show? Because I fucking loved American Vandal.
I mean,
your time on that.
It was sick. I only shot like 3 days, I think, on the whole, because most of my stuff was all talking head stuff.
Yeah.
So I just like bang that out in the classroom. I actually got that role because I met the director on a train.
On a train?
Yeah, after one of those, the train from like the yellow line that goes from downtown at the time. Yeah. I think now it's to like Santa Monica or the West Side or something.
The Expo line it is now.
The Expo line. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
After a concert downtown.
Yeah.
Speaking of drugs, we're all just packed into this train, and I was on Molly, and the director was we're coming down from Molly, and he knew my sketch group, Dead Kevin. Yeah. And he goes, hey, you're the guy from Dead Kevin. And I was like, yeah. And I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, yeah, pretty cool. I got recognized on this train. Yeah. And then a couple days later, he messages me on Facebook, found me on Facebook, was like, hey, that was me on the train. I would love for you to audition for this Netflix show I'm working on. And I absolutely did not believe him at all. I was like, there's no way this weird guy from the train is, I'm sure he thinks he probably just moved here, thinks he has a Netflix show. He just like maybe got someone's email at Netflix or something. And I was like, yeah, sure, send me the script or whatever. Then they sent me the audition, and it was like an actual place that I knew at a casting studio. I was like, oh shit, this is like a real thing. So I ended up getting that, and now I'm friends with that guy, and he's booked me on a bunch more stuff. Half the stuff I've booked in my time in LA has been through him. So thank you, Tony. But yeah, dude, maybe we were shooting it. I was like, what is this show, man? It was just all about dicks. And I was like, I've never seen or heard about a show that was just all about dicks. Like, is this gonna be? I know that it's funny, but like, is the public gonna be? Are they gonna be like, yeah, funny, a whole dick show?
Yeah.
People are gonna roll their eyes, but people loved it. It was the fastest binged show of 2017.
Wow.
For real.
All streaming services. So
That's
there's only
crazy.
eight episodes, I think, and they were half-hour
Yeah.
each. So they would keep you wanting to go to the next episode. It'd be like a mystery. And it was funny. So people just cranked that whole thing out. It was the fastest binge show of the year. It's pretty wild.
Guys, that's a
It was a
pre-pandemic
great show.
binge
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah,
Like that's a
pre-pandemic.
huge. Yeah, that's a big deal, right? That's
Yeah,
wow.
man.
I had this idea. So they only did 2 seasons. The second one was all poop jokes. First season was all dick jokes. I had an idea for a third.
Covers
season.
everything, doesn't it?
You'd think. My idea for a third season of American Vandal, because for some reason Netflix decided to cancel that, but keep 13 Reasons Why. Not
Right.
sure.
I don't think they had enough reasons.
Well, they made an episode 14. They fail. You fail. Your show should be canceled. Reason 14. Nope, you're done.
Hey!
What are you doing?
You made this argument before. Everyone agrees with you. You got to monitor your heart rate. Okay, just calm down because it's not safe. It's not a safe conversation for you.
Anyway, so the idea for a third season of American Vandal would be, so they're at college and it's period jokes, and then you show up again as Kraz and you're trying to get your teaching degree, and then you just follow them around and be annoyed.
Yeah, dude.
Because you're trying to just
I so badly because I got fired from in season 1, and I really wanted to make an appearance in season 2 somehow. It's at a different school. Could have been funny if I'm just working at a different school now. Just fuck that whole thing up too. I was like, yeah, man, get Kraz in as much as you can. They were
Saved by the Bell, summer nights. It's fine.
Yeah. They were throwing some ideas around for season 3. I don't want to say in case they end up making it, but yeah,
but Ryan's available and willing. Available and willing, right?
I'll be around. My acting. I just act like myself. I'm just like, yeah, dude, that's Mr. Kraz. Well, what a character. I'm just sitting here talking. Tell me what to talk about, and I'll just talk into the camera.
I feel like that's the best acting you can do, though.
Exactly.
Realistically, like Samuel L. Jackson, yeah, he plays a great Samuel L. Jackson in every movie, and it's fantastic because people want to see Samuel L. Jackson. So,
Jerry Seinfeld plays a great Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah.
You sure?
A mediocre Jerry Seinfeld, let's call it, right? Right? Okay, I loaded the picture, by the way. So this was me in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rasputin, Russia's greatest love machine.
The only thing I'm mad about is I'm wearing YEEZYs, and I'm like, oh, those should have been in the picture just so I could look hip and young. But
damn.
Yeah, I guess you can't do
YEEZYs
this.
Didn't make it.
Just put your leg up.
I kept on making.
Morgan.
I'm not putting my leg up, man. That's not going to happen. Let's be honest. I barely do that for stairs. No, but I was like, listen, I came out and I'm like, I was making jokes at the bar beforehand. And I just said, I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing all the goofy shit I bought while I haven't seen anyone. So I'm like, yeah, I'm wearing my YEEZYs. I have 6 gold chains underneath this dress shirt. I'm like, you have no idea what's happening right now. It's fine. It's all sorts of crazy shit I bought.
You look great, dude.
Hey, man, listen.
You look like you weigh about 230 in that picture. I would say
never been 230.
4'5", 230.
That's funny because I actually
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
You actually. God. Oh, I feel like, you know what? With the YEEZYs, I could be like, I'm Danny DeVito, but I've been like an enlargement ray. So it's like technically it's a weird proportion thing. Yeah, that's I'm going to work with that.
Danny DeVito with the Ant-Man suit.
Exactly. But his giant is just me. I feel, I think that checks out. That's a fair.
We should write that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good story. It's like a giant midget, it's
That's the name of the giant midget.
Danny Dino.
Yeah.
It's not a good title. It's not a good title at all.
I like it.
Of course you would. You're great at dick jokes. That's only fair.
That was filmed at Palisades High, right?
Yeah. Some of it.
That's where I went to high school.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn, that is a crazy place to go to high school.
Yeah, they filmed Project X part of that there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a bunch of shots on a cutting room floor of me photobombing the production.
Really? This fucking guy, dude.
Well, because they're like, just act normal. We're doing something else, and I'd just be in the background like, oh yeah. So I decided I gotta go to math class.
This is normal for me. I'm itchy.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
Yeah. It's like that thing from The Office where Meredith just like has the tube top and then shows her boobs and then it pulls it up and it shows her vag. Just like,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm rewatching The Office right now.
Yeah.
God.
Always a good decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Well,
That's
Well,
great. So we go on to the last question, or
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
first, thank you so much for coming on Generation Dan. Ryan.
of course, dude. Thanks for having me on Generation Dan, dude.
We have one more question for you, but first, you want to plug yourself. Where can people find you?
People can find me. I'm on Twitter at Ryan O'Flan, on Instagram at Ryan O'Flan. I'm getting into Snapchat. No, not Snapchat. TikTok. How old am I?
Yeah.
TikTok is...
Vine? Is it Vine? I think I'm on Vine. Yeah.
Dude, I fucking hate TikTok so
Me too.
much.
it's
Me
the
too.
worst.
It's horrible.
It makes you feel dirty. It makes you feel dirty immediately.
Ugh,
If Caleb was here, he'd flip us all off.
Yeah, it is. It's the future, and I already have more followers on that than any of the other ones. So I'm like, Jesus Christ! I guess I'll commit to it. But I hate the app. But I'm on TikTok at Ryan O'Flan, and RyanO'Flanagan.com is my website. I think.
Yeah.
I have no tour dates. I haven't for a while. I think I'm washed up. But thanks for checking me out. Check out the show Players. Players is coming out on June 16th. It's on Paramount Plus.
Ooh.
And I play a little role.
Ooh.
It's
that's
the American Vandal guys.
nice.
A show called
Okay.
Players, and it's about League of Legends guys.
Oh, awesome.
So
Atlas
there's
is
that.
sold.
You'd like that show? Yeah, there you go. Check it out.
You can find us at Generation Dan on Twitter or Generation_Dan on Instagram. And then find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, or follow my other show at Nexus at Night in those same places. That's about a trading card game. Yeah.
There's like 10 episodes where you're like, it's a trading card game, so if you don't like it, I understand. Why?
True.
Why?
Just want to throw it out.
It's not for everyone. I don't blame you.
And you know what? Listen, some people just don't like peaches. I get it. It's just like, you don't have to say, hey, these peaches might not be for you. Just like, it's like a reverse psychology, because I know I checked it out, and I was like, I lasted 10 minutes, and I'm like, these guys are nuts. I liked it. I tried. I clicked like, and that's like, share, and subscribe, everyone. I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. You can find if you're not willing to Google me, realistically, just fucking fuck off, right? Like, that's come on.
What is your problem?
Listen, I showed up to be here. The least you could do is Google me. Come on. You laughed. We all laughed. It was a great time. The minimum you could do is, like, share, subscribe, follow, whatever. Maybe a little stalking, maybe a love letter. I don't know. It's reasonable. 2020. Be your truth. It's fine.
My dearest Dino, when you you have plucked the flower from my heart the way someone plucks the first apple of spring.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
I don't know. I was just trying to do like a
What's
love
going
line
on
off the
here?
top of my head. Fine. Last
I'm a married
question.
man.
Last question.
All right, this last question. What was your most memorable set as a comic, good, bad, weird, or otherwise?
Oh, boy. Yeah, it would probably be a bad one. The first time I fucking really ate a bag of shit. My first time ever headlining, I was not ready to headline. I was just doing open mics. And there was this kind of like show that like open micers could headline in Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Ross knew the guy.
Yeah.
And so he set us up. He's like, Ryan's like a funny guy. Because I had done well at some open mics and a few shows. And I had to do like a 45-minute set at this place in Fresno called the Starline Theater. And
that sounds like a strip joint.
I've never been.
I think it used to be, or maybe it still was. And I go, and for like 10 minutes, I'm just doing a little bit of Fresno material. Most of it's my shitty open mic jokes, but it was going well. And then at one point, I called it, instead of the Starline, I called it the Starlight Theater. And it just got real quiet. And then someone from the back just yelled, Starline! And I was like, oh, sorry, I said the name of the theater. I didn't think it was a big deal. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I said the name wrong. Whatever. And then from that point, I did not get a single laugh. And I made it. I only did maybe like 15 more minutes, maybe 20 more minutes, just like hard bombing. And I still had a lot more time to go. And it was so bad. And I haven't done this since, and I had never done it before. I just said, Listen, I know, I can tell you guys really don't like me. You're not having fun. I'm not having fun. I think I'm just going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop my set. And I just like put the mic in the stand. I was like, I'm sorry. And just walked off the stage. I was bombing so hard that I couldn't even fucking power through. I was like, you guys don't like me. I'm going to go. And then just this weird, bad smattering of applause. People just watching me sadly like walk to the back of the room. Just like, yeah, sorry I tried. Sorry you came all the way out and paid money to come to this to see the worst headliner you've ever seen. Just like felt so
and you were the headliner too. I forgot.
Headliner, yeah. Supposed to be doing like 45 minutes. I did like 20, 25 minutes. It's like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm bombing so hard and my heart is pounding. I'm sweating. I feel like I'm going to faint. It's just like, I can't handle bombing this hard. Now I'm used to it. Now I just
yeah, happens.
Yeah, I just was so not ready to bomb that hard for that long yet. I had done little bits of bombing here and there, but never fucking like 20 minutes of no laughter. I had to just leave the stage. I felt like I was going to puke.
Yeah, that's that. Yo, man. It's funny though, is that you learn the most when you bomb, but it's hard. It's a skill set to learn to accept the bomb and pivot from it. Like
hard to. It never gets easier. It still sucks every time.
True. But
you do slowly build a little few more calluses. But yeah, certainly at that age, I was just like, yeah, I'm
that would be
like I was gonna like cry. And then the host was just like, well, I think he paid me like less.
Yeah.
Well, I can't pay you the whole. You walked off in the middle of your set, man. I can't pay you the whole fee.
Understandable. I
was like, yeah, I get it. Sorry, man.
That's such a weird.
And then driving all the way home from Fresno back to LA after that. Fucking doing this with the steering wheel.
Oh, for sure.
Hating myself.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, that was like the worst I've felt. But yeah, I've had many rough bombs that have.
That's such a weird reason to bomb, though.
I don't know if that's what it was, but that was the turning point for sure. And then I think me trying to dig my way out of it and apologize, that was like bombing, and I just could never get him back after that. Just that because I said Starlight. I was like, isn't you guys really taking that seriously? Or was it my other jokes? Or we had just a string of bad jokes in a row that once I lost them, just could not get them back. I was too young to do like crowd work, try to win them back, or even acknowledge that I was doing poorly. Sometimes you can do like some self-deprecating stuff, but I was just like charging through with my shitty open mic jokes and hoping they would laugh at something. And
you know what? But that's the thing is there's a nuance to be able to bring it back from that kind of a hard like in that scenario. You really don't know what you assume it's the name, but there might be some sort of drama, local weirdness. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
So you're going, I don't even know where the next mine is, and I might be pivoting right onto it, right? So
damn, fucking scared and just navigating and just all I knew how to do was just I had my little list of jokes. I was like, look at the next joke, say the next joke, look at the next joke. Just like no fucking. Wasn't even like a list that was like coherent and flowed well together. It was like, here's all my jokes that I've written so far. I'm 23 years old. Here's all my jokes. No segues. Just
that is rough.
Barely better than that now.
That's He's so full of shit, number one, but it's fine. That's fucking. He's like, I'm horrible. Yeah, fuck you, man. Okay, listen, you're pretty ass. Get the fuck out of here. No.
Pretty ass.
Credit where credit's due. My time has passed, man. It's fine. Use what you can.
All of our best days are ahead, baby.
Yes. Well,
let's not hope so, because it can't get worse.
Hopefully, it would suck if it got worse.
Well,
man.
To everybody listening, thank you for listening to Generation Dan for our first year. This is the season finale. 52 weeks, baby.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And
congratulations.
Thanks again, Ryan, and we will see you for season 2 next time.
I'll be here.
Things are happening.
Things are happening.